We're live.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the May 5th, 2022 meeting of the Litchfield Conservation Commission. I'll call this meeting to order at, I have 6:34 p.m. on this phone, meeting room phone. I don't know how accurate the clock is on it, but we'll say 6:34.
That's correct.
All right. And okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a quorum in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. We have 7 regular members and 1 alternate, so we will not be appointing any alternates this evening. Sorry, Lana. Okay. So let's begin with a roll call. We'll start with you, Harry.
Harry Manzigian, member.
Diane Plansky, secretary.
Matt Laporte, chairman.
Michael Croto, member.
Kevin Lynch, selectman's rep.
Luanna Vollmer, alternate.
And then to the TV.
Jason Brennan, member.
Joan McKibben, vice chair, remote.
Okay.
Are you a member?
All right. Is there any input related to any public input related to non-agenda items? There's nobody in the room. So I think we can get into new business. First order of business I have is the officer elections. That time we pushed it off from last month. So you need a new chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. And I believe, Diane, you had something to say regarding secretary position before we get started.
Before we get started, I think I'd like to talk about getting someone to do the minutes for our meetings, because it's really hard to get them all done and be a part of the meeting, and you're at the meeting and then you have to kind of sign in and do it after.
Mhm.
So I'd like to try and get a person to do the minutes. I've had a couple of people that I've talked to that are interested. I don't know how much we're paying rec. I asked Steve, and Steve is going to be getting in contact with me, but whoever that secretarial position is, it would be a lot easier if they were able to actually work on the files and do the actual secretarial job that comes along with this, and just have the minutes done by somebody else.
And recreation, I want to say planning board, board of selectmen, and school board, they contract.
Well, planning board, Joan does planning board.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she's paid to do that though, right?
She's the administrative
Assistant
planner, so.
or planner. Yeah.
Okay.
So that would mean we'd have to pay somebody.
Yeah, I think that's what Diane is saying, is that we
It's time.
Okay.
reach out to somebody to see if there's any interest in having somebody else record the minutes and maybe do some record keeping.
Okay.
I know that the CIP has someone that does it. Is it Sullivan? Michael?
Matt Sullivan.
Matt Sullivan.
Matt Sullivan. That's who it is.
Yeah.
And I think he does somebody else's board. I don't know.
He does
Correct.
the board of selectmen
He's
as
the board of
well.
selectmen.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's someone you want to consider. I know he does it, but
Yeah, he
I
just
think we
watches
need
it
a-
on TV.
he watches it on TV and then he
he's not here.
transcribes it. Or
Right.
something.
And the 2 people that I've spoken to that are Litchfield residents, that's kind of been attractive to them. They don't have to come to the meeting and then watch the meeting to make sure it's perfect.
Yeah.
They can just watch the meeting. The minutes will come out like clockwork and somebody's actually
Yeah.
paid to do it. And it would be just for the minutes, not for
Yeah.
the clerical work could then
Okay,
be done by
still be-
whoever the
yeah.
secretary is, would really be able
They
to
would
dive into
submit their
those.
names to us and we pick one.
I think you'd basically kind of almost like put it out to bid, so to speak. You'd, I don't know, advertise it. I'm not sure what else in terms of minutia would be needed to either the bylaws or anything to say that we have somebody else who's going to be
Yeah.
taking the minutes.
Might want to reach out to Troy maybe. and
Yeah,
that's a
ask
good
him
idea.
And find out.
That's a good idea. I know the
was
planning
gonna
board is
suggest that.
looking for somebody else to do it too. Is that right,
Mhm.
Mike? Yeah.
There has been, talk, but
And I can't say I'm too familiar with the procedure there and what's involved. So,
All right,
yeah,
so
we
I'll
can-
reach out to Troy.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. So I believe first up will be the chairman. So do we have any?
Excuse me, Matt.
Is it Joan?
Yes, I thought you were going to move elections to the end of the meeting because it's your agenda that we're working off of.
Okay. Does anyone want to do it that way? Actually,
Yeah.
by the way, you want to hold it towards the end of old business? You want to do it at the end of old business?
Since you resigned and you have no chance of doing it, maybe.
Yeah, and so, yeah, I guess,
That's fine.
okay, as long as nobody has any objections to that,
Who's the
yeah.
vice chair of this committee?
Joan.
Joan?
On the screen.
And you already turned in your resignation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so ended today, 11:59 p.m. I am off the commission. More on that later. So as long as nobody has any issues with that, let's go into the grant Jason had new business.
Yep, just a brief update. As of last month, we talked a little bit about grants that are available to municipalities for conservation land purchase, recreation land purchase, and things like that. In combing through the website a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that one of the grants, which is the land conservation, Joan, help me out, the LCWF grant, which is the Land Conservation
Land and Water Conservation.
Fund, was actually due last Friday. So I looked at the website last month and it wasn't posted yet. And then I looked at the website on Saturday and the grant had come and gone. This was a grant that we were looking at applying for, which we could ask for a substantial amount of money to support purchase of a piece of property or two that interests us. So seeing that it had come and gone, on Monday morning, I called the state and I said, hey, would you allow us to put a grant application in? We didn't see that the grant had come and gone. And the guy got back to me and said, yes, you could submit an application. It has to be submitted today. And we're going to put a big asterisk on it that basically says that you guys showed up late. So I talked briefly with Joan and I just went ahead and put in a grant for $200,000 to support the purchase of conservation property. And I submitted that up to the state. It was a little bit of a heavy lift. You had to include a narrative. You had to include backup information. You had to include maps and things like that. So I put that whole package together and sent it off to the state. And I should clarify that I did not submit a grant application to the state. I submitted an intent form that you intend to submit a grant application, I think sometime in September. So I submitted that up to the state. I then got an email back from the state that said that they received it and they're going to be in contact with us in, a month or so to talk about our application and to potentially go out on a site walk for the land that we're considering using these funds for. So that was submitted. We're good to go. We expect to hear from the state in the near future. And, that's essentially it. We'll see what happens.
Okay, good.
Nice job, Jay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Next up, the Corning Farm Development. Was that Joan? Or is that you, Jason?
I think that's me. I added that to the list. Mr. Croto knows that as of last Tuesday, the Corning Farm Development, which is the 64 or 68 condos at the horse farm, was conditionally approved last Tuesday. And as part of that, and maybe Mr. Croto can help me out on this, there was a stipulation or a condition in there that the owner of the development would build a sidewalk along the frontage of the Moores Falls property. So it would go from the condo development basically to the entrance of Moores Falls. So at some point in time, I don't think we need to do it now. We probably need to discuss the details of that with the developer and see if it meets our expectations. And, then we can go from there. So I'm just letting the board know that passed and that there is a stipulation in there that would include a sidewalk from the condo development to Moores Falls. And eventually, at some point in time, the sidewalk / path would end up making its way to Albuquerque so that you could get from Albuquerque to Morris Falls and to the horse farm, via a bike path.
I have, looks like some plans from last night
Yeah, they were left
We're
probably
here.
on the table. Yeah.
left behind. I don't see a.
That's the landscaping plan. And
So if anyone wants to look through these.
I do.
Here they are.
yeah,
Because I'm nosy.
All right, next up, I had the community garden on here because I believe you had shared with us, what was it, the lease?
Yes. Yep. So,
Graphics.
we're moving at the pace of
Yeah, it's,
paint drying on a wall.
yeah,
We're moving really, really slow. So the lease went to the selectmen, then went to the town. The town has communicated with the Algerian Trust. The Algerian Trust has communicated back to the town. And now there's another change that's being made that it's going to be subleased to Normanton. We're in corporate world here, waiting for all of that to be done before we can do anything else. I had somebody ready to start just the parking lot so that people didn't park all over the lot of land, that they had a place to park as opposed to parking anywhere. And that's held up. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But yeah, so it doesn't look like we're going to end up planting this year unless a miracle occurs. Steve Normanton has promised me that he will, but I don't think that he anticipated all the delays with it as well. Here we are in May again.
yeah,
So-
that's government.
It's definitely, yeah.
Bureaucracy really starts to slow stuff down.
Yes. So that's where we are. It's farther than it's ever been. They didn't start it for a year because they transferred over all their staff. They lost like all of their staff, and so there was like no movement until like January. And then she thought she'd get it done in 2 weeks, and then no. So we're still waiting, but it's closer. We are closer. I'm gonna write closer.
Hey, Diane,
Yeah.
we should take a look at the easement on that property because there is an easement that allows us to have access to that property and allow us to do certain things on that property. One of which may or may not be farming. So in theory, we might not even need a lease agreement because it might
We're
be
so
included
close. We're so
in the
close.
easement.
Yeah, but we're so close at this point. That would have been great last year, but we're so close to having the lease that they want us to have. Because coming right behind this lease is going to be another lease for you to put the bridge on the trails behind it and go all the way down to almost the river, right?
Yep, I get it. I mean, it's the right thing to do. I think it just protects everybody. It's another layer on top of the easement.
It's
and
been
I think it would make
frustrating.
Everybody feel more comfortable.
It's so close now. Last year we probably could have done it and then we could have gone forth and just done the lease they wanted to, but still been able to go ahead, I guess, had we just been more forceful. But they were changing over from Monadnock Land Trust to Algerian Land Trust. And remember we attended that celebration that they had to do it. There was a lot going on. So here we are, very closer. Next thing.
Okay. On to old business, fishing derby.
Well,
We're in.
first of all, I finally got the permit from the state, and trying to get that permit certainly made me aware of dealing with the state one-on-one. It was certainly a challenge, to say the least. And
It's a theme of the night.
pardon?
It's a theme of the night.
Yeah, and apparently they don't like to communicate. The fact that we got the permit, we are on the state registry for fishing derbies. So if you see Litchfield, you're going to see it twice. Once is for the Londonderry Fish and Game Club because their entrance is in Litchfield.
Yep.
And then down further is the one that we have had. So what is happening now is that Jeff and I are going to get together next week and probably run around like crazy and start to get tables and canopies, and we've got sort of the prizes all laid out and that sort of stuff. And then I'm waiting for what'll happen is the hatchery will deliver the fish sometime Thursday or Friday, but they don't tell you when or where. And I'm waiting for a call from a place up north, because he's going to be more specific. So it'll be sometime Friday. What we're going to do is I talked to Jeff. We're going to close down Nesson Stream on Thursday afternoon.
Mhm.
Okay, close it down by putting signs, and then Jeff and I will probably sit in the parking lot and just make sure that we don't have any people in there. The only other thing that is I'm going to need volunteers. Okay, Diane, can I count on you?
Yep. In fact, when I was redoing the minutes from March, what I found was that I had volunteered, Jay had volunteered, Matt had volunteered. I don't know if he can still come
I'll
over.
be there.
Possibly as a private citizen, but
I'll take you.
And then that's you. And then Joan, can you make that?
Joan said that you'd be there, right, Joan?
Yes, I plan to, yes.
So
Okay.
that's kind of winner.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then Jeff is going to talk to the recreation committee, because what we're going to need is we're going to need people down at the community garden center for parking. We're going to need somebody or a couple people up where the wagon wheel and the EMT is going to be for parking, and that lot next to it. So, and
Can I ask how we're advertising this?
well, Jason,
Yep.
you sent out your fantastic flyer, your poster.
Yep, it's primarily social media, Diane. I mean, that's really all we have. So it went up on, I believe, the conservation page, the recreation page, the mom's page, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, so we'll keep pushing it for the next week. I don't know if there's an option, Diane, if an email can be sent out from the schools, via the school alert system or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it anymore. That an email could get sent out to parents to notify them that this is happening.
I thought, Jason, that that mother's thing was to the parents, no?
I think he's talking about a private Facebook page.
No, he's talking about the alert.
I
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah, because
okay.
the recreation, I talked to Steve, and they said they were gonna also send out to whatever the mothers.
We really would only have to hit the elementary school. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, what was the age limit? 16, 15?
no, 15.
15, yeah,
So
so
all you need is Griffin and
LMS.
What if we put some posters up too, like at LMS, at GMS, at the Litchfield Food Mart?
Have them put it up on the cork board there at the entrances. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure they do have those there.
I'm gonna need a little help
Oops, sorry.
doing that, because like I said, Jeff and I are gonna have our hands full.
Mhm.
Well, it's something we could do tomorrow. It doesn't have to be done like the day of. It should probably be done now.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can do it this week, I guess. I don't know. I mean, handwritten posters.
Jay, you had a poster, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool poster.
Can we
I
print
do,
it?
but it's not printed, no.
Can we print it? I'll run them
We'll have
around.
to take it down to a printing place or somebody that's got a plotter. I would like to see if we could talk to somebody from the school board to see if we can send out an email, because, I think notification going to the parents would probably be the most valuable thing. I don't think a first grader is gonna look at the poster and go, oh, yeah, I'll go tell my parents about that. I'm sure they forget about it during the course of the day.
Joan?
I think you can send an email to the parents, but I know you can't do the phone thing. That's just for emergencies.
Okay, but didn't you say that when you had it, that you were able to put some sort of posters up in the school?
We put posters up, and for quite a while, we were handing out flyers, but that was too much paper, so we put up posters that we had made up, but it's too late to do that now. You can't get them made up now.
Okay.
We put up signs around.
You know what we could do is, maybe we can see if we can do it this weekend, Diane, is the town sign that we put up at Albuquerque and Hillcrest, which probably 90% of the people in town pass during the week. We might be able to put like a banner there. I mean, it's not going to be the most beautiful banner in the world, but we might be able to put it underneath the sign so that when people are driving down Albuquerque, they see it.
Okay. I'm trying to get in touch with Christina right now too, to see if we can send an email. So we'll do that too. All right. So who would do the banner? I'm not an art person.
I could do it. I mean, it's going to be made of probably a shower curtain and duct tape, but it'll look good from 30 feet away.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I think that's what my weather girl thing was made out of.
exactly.
Right. Albuquerque.
All right, so you'll take care of getting hold of the school, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to get in touch with the chair right now.
Okay,
I'll put it on the town website too. And then, maybe if
Because
you can't.
I just noticed that if we weren't on this, would you know that this was happening? I mean, it's a huge amount of work that you're doing. I just don't know if anybody.
It was posted, Diane, and there was a lot of input on it, a lot of
Was there?
interest, I should say,
yeah.
in regards to it.
Okay.
Now this TV 20, I finally discovered it, and I noticed that it wasn't on there at all. Under, I guess there's a little section that says upcoming events.
Yeah, if you email, I think how it goes now is if you email John Brunel or Russ Blanchett with the poster, I think that they can put that image on the slide, the rotating slide for the TV channel, because between whatever videos they
Okay.
have, it'll just cycle through it like a PowerPoint presentation.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay,
All
thank you.
right. So I'm going to do John. Jay, you're going to do the sign. And I'm going to get in touch with Christina about getting an email to first grade and to elementary and middle school.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and like I said, we have the commitment from the police and the highway department as far as putting stanchions out on 3A, and we have the EMTs there. So other than the posters and communicating with people, Mike, I forgot, you're going to be there, right?
I will be there.
Hey.
And Jeff Town came up with an excellent idea. Apparently, I guess when the Recreation Committee had a concert, he has some green vests that would able to identify us in case people need it to get hold of us.
Yeah, I have a vest and I had it put Conservation Commission on it. So there's a company, East Coast Emergency Outfitters. They do, they'll do decals on the police and fire vehicles and clothing. And they did that for me. I think it was $10.
Yeah.
Real good job, and it was quick. So if
Well,
you just give them a pack of vests, it's gonna be like $10 a vest. But they do a pretty good job.
Jeff tells me I think he has sufficient amount of vests. And,
Just the color alone.
Pardon?
Just the color alone is just good.
yeah.
Green has people that it's service.
So, like I said, other than the communications and Jeff and I doing a lot of grunt work, cross our fingers for the weather.
Yeah.
And so far, so good. Let's see, I'm trying to think what else.
Harry and Diane, I just hope something. If I happen to be in the shed that's behind Town Hall a couple of weeks ago, and there were old fishing derby signs that you stick in the ground like you do if you're running for office, that said fishing derby across the front, and it actually said, I think, Mark Lane, or it might have said a date. We might be able to go into the shed, get those, kind of retrofit them for Parker Park, and then stick them out around town at the various intersections or something like that.
Sounds good. And
Yeah,
then
actually.
That would be your best idea. They are in the shed. They probably
Who
just
has
say
access
Mark
to
Lane.
it?
Jay,
And me.
Yep, but
I
you're
saved.
gonna be back in time,
I'll be back tomorrow.
and you're not gonna be gone next week?
Nope.
Okay, could you do that, please?
Do you want the
Yep.
key?
Pardon?
You want the key? I have it.
I got this one. Hey, thanks for getting my phone off the,
Oh,
off
yeah.
the ground.
I
Appreciate
just
that.
noticed it when I was turning it on 3A.
Oh, appreciate it so much.
So,
This brand new phone.
other than that, like I said, I think, unless there's some surprises, I guess we're all set to go, other than advertising. And, afterwards, I need to get with Joan. Joan, you said that you were gonna have some clipboards and,
Yes, I can get you the clipboards. And we need to make up those flyers too.
okay. I don't know, unless someone else can think of something else or,
Okay. And how did you get a head count from Recreation? How many people are volunteering to help from their end?
not really. I mean, what we did is we asked for a minimum of 4. And, but then when in one of the other meetings, I said, I can use as many people as, I didn't get anybody. I'm going to meet with them on the 10th just to review everything again.
Yeah.
And I can maybe get some people to commit,
Okay.
so,
So we got a few
Saturday is
people.
when it's the 14th, right?
yes.
Projected the temperature is 82 degrees.
Woohoo.
Partly sunny. I don't believe that until I see it. This is New Hampshire.
No, I don't either. So I'm going to meet with them on the 10th just to go over everything and see if they have any
Anything
other
else?
things that I forgot or, can remember and stuff like that, and get those folks to commit. And like I said, when you guys get there, try to be there by at least 7 so that.
AM.
Pardon?
AM.
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 Yeah, 7 a.m. And,
Oh,
What time does it start?
pardon?
What time does it start?
8.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And
Sure up.
as far as doing things, it's who shows up, and I have a wide selection, so you can kind of pick and choose what you'd like to do. Because I don't like to assign things ahead of time, because whatever. Okay, and then after that, we'll have another conversation with the Recreation Committee as far as ongoing for next year. So, but I want to get through this year.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Very good. Good evening.
Evening.
You just coming to watch, or do you have anything for
No,
the
coming
commission?
to watch. This is
Okay.
the conservation committee, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it started 4 or 7?
6:30.
Oh, okay.
We
yeah,
used to start at
7
7.
on the website.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll talk to John. Yeah, maybe that wasn't updated from the town website because I can't tweak I can add things to the town website like announcements, but I can't change. Yeah, I can't change those pages. So I'll talk to him. Okay. Next up, Lonely Fort. So I I made the little bridge / culvert there. I made a box culvert over that little gully. It's not too much to look at, but it does the job. I've been working on that last weekend. The past few weekends have been a little busy. So it kind of got pushed out a little further into the month than I anticipated. It is very, very painfully close to being finished. I just need to go in there and just clear out a couple stumps and just kind of pack some more dirt down to level it down, perhaps like another 2 or 3 hours of work, and it's good to go. I was checking along the way to make sure I was compliant with trail accessibility rules from the Forestry Service, Park Service, and I believe the US DOT was involved in setting those up as well. So I think that'll just about be done. That'll be really exciting to have a trail that people can access if they use a wheelchair. So unless anyone has any issues with that, I'll be off the commission by this weekend. But if anyone has any issues with me as a private citizen going out and finishing that up,
Enjoy.
all right, I'll get to it. A dog waste problem. Joan, I don't know if you have any updates on that. I know there was cleanup done last month, but I'm not sure.
Can we go back to the one report for a second?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, hold on 1 second, Joan. We had a $2,500 balance.
Yep.
So we don't need that, right?
No. So the total bill came out to a whopping, was it $80? We came in well under budget because of the way we moved it to a northern part of this depression in the ground. We need a lot less materials, and I found ways to tweak it down so it'll be way more effective to make. So no, yeah, I didn't need the $2,500.
Didn't need anything but $80 to do your job.
Yeah,
Matt. Appreciate that.
So, yeah.
And you and Jason put it together on Saturday?
Yeah, I was on Sunday. Jason helped me do some grading. He took out some dead trees, a couple stumps. We did a lot of improving the quality of the trail itself from Albuquerque up to this gully. So yeah, he was out there with me for a couple hours. But yeah, it's getting pretty close. But thanks for the help, Jason.
Thank you, Matt.
All right.
Dog waste.
Back to dog waste. Joan, what do you got?
It looks pretty good up there. I'll go up tomorrow morning and check things out before Saturday. But I did find the extra bags, loaded the kiosk up with the bags. So it's looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Joan, you cleaned up all that dog waste? I think that was mentioned last month.
Yeah, that was mentioned. We cleaned up the winter debris bags that were left around.
Was that just you that was out there doing it?
I think Glenn was too.
Thank you.
This Matt's sign the new sign probably helps too.
Bring it here. At least lets people know that we're aware of the situation. So,
Thank you very much for doing that, Joan.
yeah, thanks, Joan.
You're welcome.
That's not an easy job. It's
Construction 101.
pretty messy, but okay. Tractor and trailer purchase.
That's me. So the tractor is in. It came in on, I think, Friday or Saturday of last week, and it's sitting in the old fire station. So with the tractor, we got as mentioned several times, we got the tractor, the brush hog, a mower, a bucket, and a York rake on the back of it. The total cost for the tractor ended up being, I think it was $25,680, of which recreation paid $15,000, and we paid it's $25,680 was the total. Rec paid 15. We paid 10,680. As we stated in the original motion involved purchase of the tractor and quote unquote accessories related to the tractor. And during our discussion during that motion, and since that discussion, we have always been talking about using the money that's left over to purchase a trailer. I went up and have been looking at trailers for the past several months. I ended up finding a good used trailer for $2,900 up at the trailer outlet in Tilton, and requested that we purchase that trailer using the remaining $4,319. There then was some discussion back and forth on whether or not the trailer was included in the purchase or in the motion. I contend that the trailer was included in the motion, but we just need to figure that out tonight, because we got to get that thing under contract. We got to put our money down and purchase that trailer, or we're going to lose that trailer and have to pay most likely over $4,000 for a new trailer. So I'd like to get that wrapped up as soon as possible, meaning by tomorrow.
Okay, so I'll take a motion.
I make a motion that we authorize Jason to spend, what'd you say, 29?
Yeah, Harry, do you mind? I actually have written a motion down, and I'd like to, if you wouldn't mind, would you mind me making the motion?
Go. I'll second it.
All right. So
That's a
I would like to make a motion to expend up to $4,319.94 for the purchase of tractor accessories such as a trailer and attachments and related supplies. This amount equates to the unspent portion of the $15,000 approved for the shared purchase of a tractor and accessories with the Recreation Commission. These funds will come from the Conservation Fund and will not exceed the original $15,000 allocation approved during the November 2021 Conservation Commission meeting.
Is this a motion or a warrant article? All right, so you.
Motion.
So he made the motion.
And I'll second it.
All right, Harry seconded. So let me get the cliff notes here.
I'll use it in the minutes.
Okay. Since I have a motion, I have a second. Do I have any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I,
Jason?
Wait, oh, you're not going.
Aye. Those opposed? Those abstained? Motion passes 7-0.
What about Joe? Did
I
you-
heard
yeah,
Joe
Oh,
say
okay,
that.
yes, okay.
Okay then. Good with the trailer. Next up, trail signage and mapping.
can I say something else about the tractor?
Yes.
I did text Jason today, and I would really like to see a log clipboard on the wall of the fire station on, date, who uses it, what length of time it's used for, and something else I had, I guess what it's used for, which department uses it. I think we need to keep track of that.
Yeah, things like hours, fuel used, or I don't know if they filled it, all sorts of things like that. I don't think that's a bad idea.
Do we need another motion?
I agree, Joan. I can set that up and hang a clipboard on the wall, and we can check out who used it, and maybe, the date, the time, the hour starting and the hour ending, almost like you do a rental car.
Right.
And maybe at that point in time, we can kind of keep track on, what department is using it more. And then based on that,
Right, that will help with maintenance too.
yeah, maintenance and gas and things like that.
Yeah, because maybe the
Okay.
breakdown is that maintenance cost is broken down proportionally based on hours or whatever, but you can get into that at a later time. I think that log is a good idea, though. Okay. Next up is trail signage and mapping.
We're deferring that to next month because I'm not on site.
Okay, yeah.
I have one thing about the easement at Stage Crossing. We're gonna make an appointment to do that? We have the signs.
Yep, we have the signs. Jason, did you talk to Greg Jeffrey?
I did talk to Greg Jeffrey, past texts back and forth with him. I think he's just a little bit busy right now, but Joan, I think by next meeting, we should be able to get out there with him.
Okay.
Okay. 3A roadside cleanup. So that was last Saturday.
Good job.
Yeah, I think that went really well. That was the weather was nice. There was a bit of trash on our stretch of 3A that I did with Joan, but it wasn't.
It was bad by that one corner.
Yeah, it guess it varied in locations depending on where you were on 3A. But like, what was the grand total for bags? It was 10?
We had about 14 to 16 bags.
Oh, okay. Because we consolidated a bag. We each had 4. Okay, yeah. Right.
Yeah, if we're gonna buy bags, I wouldn't buy those bags again.
Those came from highway or the DOT.
The DOT brings us.
So there's actually a little brown shed at their depot in Londonderry where volunteers or highway sponsors can go and grab signage and bags, and that's typically what Joan or myself would grab each time we're setting up for a trash cleanup. But yeah, I'll see if we can maybe get some sturdier bags if we have to use the ones that DOT has for us.
Found some interesting stuff. A hard drive. Found a hard drive. Well, we think it's a hard drive, right, Jay? Not sure.
Yeah, or some sort of control unit. I was thinking about that, Diane. It might have been a car accident. It looked like a computer in a car or something like that.
Oh, really?
Black box.
Yeah, I've got the black box. A lot of interesting items on the side of the road.
Oh, the stolen.
Yeah. And I noticed that there's a town-wide trash cleanup on the 14th, 15th. I saw it out on the town hall sign out here across from the fire station. I have to go double check the date on that. Yeah, I'll go double check that. But I remember
Mr.
seeing
Selectman's rep, do you know?
I know nothing about it.
Love it. Who cares?
Check that
Yay.
out. Next up, land management plan draft review. So I was kind of not able to spend as much time on this month as I had anticipated. Since I'm off the commission after this meeting, I'm just going to send over what work I've done so far, and you guys can take and do with it what you will. But at least one thing that I had that was concrete was doing an annual inspection of all conservation properties to include checking on the trails, ancillary structures that are added, and monitoring for invasive species. It's pretty brief, that section at least. But another step in the direction there, but I'll send that out to everybody. And like I said at the last meeting, a lot of other towns that have these, it's like, it's a lot of the work that I think, or a lot of these rules and policies, I think are things that we can pull into the one for Litchfield. So a lot of the heavy lifting has kind of been done for us, I guess. Things like that, for things like timber harvests, that one specifically I think was pretty good. A few towns did a great job with those, and I think Milford did a great job with their trail management and development and maintenance plan. But I'll send that out to everybody. Next, bird/nature walk led by Joan.
Okay, folks, we may have a problem here. Is anyone familiar, Matt, are you going to be around Saturday morning
Possibly. I'll have to check what's
from
what I've
8 to
got.
10, or Harry knows Morse Falls?
Are you saying you can't do it, Joan?
Well, I can show up in N95 mask, but people want to be near me. So I'll know by tomorrow afternoon what the situation is.
Do you want to reschedule it? Because it's a bird walk, right?
Right, we could reschedule it, but we have to get the word out really fast.
Yeah, I think because you wouldn't know until tomorrow anyway, so that would be getting it pretty down to the wire. It'll be like 24 hours notice. If you want to reschedule to like later in the month after the fishing derby.
Because Saturday I'm going to be tied up with the fishing derby.
Yeah, we can't do the 14th.
And I'm not sure what my schedule is this Saturday.
Joan, let's
Well,
reschedule.
if we can get the word out, I mean, I can drive up there Saturday morning and tell people, I won't know till tomorrow afternoon, what the situation really is.
What of all the avenues that you've used to advertise it? You've used the What's Up page?
Just the WhatsApp page.
Okay. So we'll get it up there and we'll leave it
And I
up
put
there,
a
right?
poster at the library and town hall.
You did post at the library and town hall?
Just a color poster at the library and town hall. So we could easily, I could easily have the librarian put on postpone down there.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
You think we should do that?
Mother's Day weekend, guys.
Yeah, and yeah, that's a good point too.
Sorry, that's not
Um,
mother to the show.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
you
if
did?
it's on social media, you can just like edit your post and just say postponed until whatever date you come up with.
I'm kind of happy, Joan, because I'm not going to be able to go on Saturday and I really want to go because you're a bird person.
Well, I hate to do this, but I also don't think that people are going to want to be around me.
So,
So,
Okay.
like I said, I won't know until tomorrow.
Okay.
Joan, I'll modify the poster
Okay,
graphic and I'll just put a big postponed across.
okay. That would be excellent. Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm fine. I was with somebody Monday that told me Tuesday was a problem.
Okay. Hope you're okay.
Thanks.
okay,
Yeah,
so
Jason, that would be great.
All right, I'm on it.
Thank you.
You're doing it now.
okay, do we want to do the officer elections at the end of new business, or do we want to do it after other business? Because then that would be it's pretty much
Right at the bottom.
way at the bottom.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay, so after other business.
Yeah. All right. So next meeting is June 2nd. Good luck. Have fun. Weather report for the month of April. We had a high temperature of 72.7 degrees Fahrenheit, a low of 26.1, a high wind gust of 36.5 miles per hour, a sustained wind speed of 33.3 miles per hour. It was pretty windy last month for a few days. It was a good
Yeah.
stretch of just constant wind, and 4.33 inches of liquid precipitation. That would bring us to my little spiel for the evening. So I am resigning from the Conservation Commission, effective the end of the day today, 11:59 p.m. after almost 5 years on this commission. It's been a lot of fun. I can't stress enough how thankful I am to have been a part of this commission and have everyone's support. I couldn't have done it without everybody here. But it's gonna be sad. But I just started at the fire department, so I'm having a lot of fun there. So one door is closing, but another door is opening. So it's just a start to a new chapter, and I just didn't feel like I could give the same time commitment that I have over the years, and so I didn't feel like it would be fair to continue to take up a seat on the commission and kind of pass the baton on to the next interested volunteer. So.
So I say 3 cheers for Matt.
Yeah.
You can find somebody or a couple of people with the passion that you have and the willingness to get out there and get dirty and support all these initiatives.
Thank you.
Zach, well said.
Everything.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else have any member updates? I actually just kind of breezed right over a couple of things, actually. So I do have a couple of things, extra things here. So I reached out to Jay Mankara at NRPC to see what the update was on our conservation plan. They're still working on it. He anticipates he will be emailing it out to the commission on the 26th of May. So towards the end of the month, and he will be coming in on our June 2nd meeting to present it and discuss it with us and with the public. I received an email from Ella Macia with the Native Plant Trust, who's working under the Natural Heritage Bureau which is a part of the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources with the state. And they are looking to monitor the population of two endemic plants here, the creeping managrass and the Carolina grass-leaved goldenrod, which are located in the vicinity of Rocky Hill Pond, which is off of Meadowbrook. And she just wanted to give us the heads up that they are looking to do another check on those plants there, and they'll be creating a report that they'll share with us.
So is it okay if I email her back and say, make sure she checks with the landowners? Because that's not town property.
Yeah, isn't there is that the one with a 50-foot easement up to it? Yeah, that's a good point.
Private
That-
land. There may be an easement, but it's still private land.
Right, yeah.
No, there's no easement. The property line goes right to the pond.
Okay,
correct,
yeah,
and no.
so, yeah, we'll have to let them know that they need to reach out to the landowners for permission.
Right.
Because I'm thinking of the other pond there off of Meadowbrook, there's two.
They have been out there in the past a number of years ago.
Yeah, yeah, I remember they had done it in the past. So yeah, I think they'll definitely have to reach out to the landowners then. But I still think
They
that'd
can
be
reach
pretty
out.
interesting to learn about. So, okay.
Just give them the list of the landowners and
Yeah.
so they'll have to contact them.
Jason had his hand up.
Yeah, are we under member input, Matt?
Yes.
I had two quick things. So we had 20 people at the muster field helping out with cleanup of about a 50-foot by 20-foot area that's kind of behind the cellar hole. And we ended up taking 8 trailer loads of bittersweet twigs, sticks, stumps to the dump. And so there's a lot there. We didn't cut anything down at all. That's just what was laying on the ground. That was just the bittersweet that was up in the trees, and we were able to take out 8 trailer loads of that to the dump. And then the other thing is, if you've gone by Morris Falls, they moved the trees, and there were, I think, 8 or so trees that were flagged underneath the power lines. They moved those to in front of the dump. And so that was done last week.
Good.
Knock on wood, National Grid or whoever's that easement is, I think Troy's talking to them about replacing those trees with other types of trees or vegetation that is acceptable to being planted underneath power lines.
Bush.
Hopefully they're bigger than bushes. Arborvitae or something.
Okay.
Poison ivy.
Anybody else? Member input? Public input? Anything? No?
No, I'm just here
Okay.
to figure out what you guys do and see if you're looking for people to get involved.
Your timing is immaculate. Okay, approval of minutes from the March 3rd and April 5th, 2022 meetings. I don't know has everyone had a chance to review your copies? I have an extra copy here.
And please, it's a mess because I'm having a printer problem and a computer problem, or both, or one or the other, or both.
I had autocorrect change some names and spellings, so I'll need to tweak those.
Yeah, I think that was my one thing. I noticed that the names were
Yeah.
spelled differently in
Where?
a couple places in the
I
April
did it-
meeting.
Did it throughout the whole thing.
Oh, in
and
the
I tried
April?
to correct
Not
it,
the
but I
March.
missed a bunch.
I think Luann, you sent that by email. So I
We're trying to
read it.
figure out if I can get that into my Word
Yeah.
documents, because if we do, then I can change it for you and just send it to John Brunel, and he can put it up as the minutes and post with the rest of them.
Okay.
Unless you want to
It
do it.
is a Word document.
It is a Word document? Send it to my private email then.
Do you
guys
wanna
have a chance to read
kind of
the
hold off?
March? Oh, do we, well,
I'd like to do March. I think March is okay.
Oh, okay, so I don't think I noticed anything that stood out in March.
Other than the fact that I think we have 3 different types of font.
Yeah, there's some font sizes on it.
But when you look at the document, it's all one. So I don't know.
Kevin and Luann, have you seen the March?
I'm looking at them now.
Okay, you guys have a copy.
I didn't
Okay.
go. I said I couldn't make it to that meeting. I'm looking at it. My name is not here.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve them.
I will second. All right, I have a motion. I have a second. Do I have any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Okay, those opposed?
Abstain, that's all.
Those abstaining? Jason, what was your vote?
I'm going to abstain. I didn't see the ones that Diane had.
Okay, so motion passes 502.
Actually, Matt, I'll abstain on the March ones also. I didn't see those yet.
No, because those didn't go out. So that's not a, do we need
April I
to,
looked at.
do you need to
March.
reset? April, you've looked at April's?
The ones Luann did.
Oh,
Yeah, in
okay,
April.
okay.
Okay,
So 403,
yep, so motion passes 403.
okay.
Narrowly, but passes.
Well, let's just get them out there.
Yep, so that is. And then,
Do you want to do April 2 then?
That's another one that didn't go to.
okay, so yeah, that was March. All right, so yeah, April.
I don't have
Do we
any.
have any comments on April?
I don't have any.
Other than the
Correct the
the
name.
correcting everyone's names.
I didn't go to that.
In Morris Falls,
And
I
it-
spelled more, or auto-corrected to Morris.
Mm.
It's a good
So I
name.
needed to check that.
Joan, what do you got?
Oh, this was under, one section, it said Morris Falls, but I sent that to Luann and to correct, so, fine.
Violent agreement. On Morse Falls. Okay, so do you have a motion?
Oh, I make a motion that we accept
April.
April 5th meeting minutes. And we want to correct the names?
Well, yeah, that pending.
Pending
the
those, pending the
correction.
correction of
correction,
the
yep.
names, Yeah.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and we have a second. Do I have any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh,
I'm standing against
Aye.
my medical issue.
Aye.
five. All right, those opposed and those abstaining,
Abstaining, because I wasn't
2
there.
abstentions.
Okay.
So
Okay.
motion passes 502.
Okay.
Okay. I don't actually, well, so let's do the officer elections. Because I put in a non-public, but I'm not sure if we have anything to discuss there this evening. I haven't heard of any updates. So I think we can do officer election. So without any further ado, do I have a nomination for chairman?
Can I make a nomination?
Yes, you may.
Okay, I nominate Jason for chairman.
I second it.
Okay. I have a motion and I have a second. Do I have any further discussion?
So, yeah, I'm okay with it. Joan, I'll just need help when I'm traveling. Or whoever, let me restate that. Whoever is vice chair, I will need help when I'm traveling, which might happen a few times a year.
We can have co-chairs.
That's what the vice chair is about.
All right. So I have a motion. I have a second for Jason. Do I have any further discussion? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes 6-0-1. All right, Mr. Chairman. You want to take it from here?
Does anybody have a motion for vice chair?
I'd like to make a motion that we have Joan as vice chair.
I'd like to second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, we'll do a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All abstained?
Aye.
Motion passes 601. Do I have a nomination for secretary?
Weren't we gonna,
I think we still have an officer position. So we can still make a nomination and determine if the secretary is still going to do the minutes, but there's still going to be a position. So
In the transition zone right now with this one.
I'll nominate Diane. If you want.
I say no, thank you.
Okay.
I can't write.
no, neither.
I think we can nominate an alternate if Luana would take it.
No, thank you.
So we narrow it down.
You know.
I'll do it, subject to being able to get someone to do the minutes.
Well, we don't know
Can I
how
do
to
that?
pay for that yet.
Right, but so I will do it and then see if we can do that and see how that works. But this would be my third year doing it,
Okay.
unless someone
Yeah.
else wants to do it.
So,
Mike?
correct me if I'm wrong, actually, because I remember in the bylaws for officers, I don't know if the secretary is including this, but I definitely know the chair and the vice chair are. You cannot occupy an officer position for more than 2 consecutive terms unless the vote is unanimous.
I think that was for chairman.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was just the chairman or if that was for all officers.
I think it was just chairman.
Okay.
So you'd still have to nominate me.
Diane, I'll do it.
I'll second it.
We'll work on the secretary ASAP.
Okay, so we have a motion for Diane in a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All those abstain?
Stain.
Motion passes 601. Congratulations, Diane. Okay, it looks like we're up to adjournment. I believe that we do have one item that we would like to discuss in non-public related to a site walk that we took last week. So I'll entertain a motion that we enter into non-public session via RSA 91A:3B.
I'll
I'll
second it.
entertain that motion.
I'll second it.
I'll make the motion. Harry, you second it?
Okay.
And that's going to be
Andy makes the motion. Harry seconds the motion. All those in favor say aye.
that's a roll call vote.
Okay, roll call vote. Mr. Lynch,
Oh,
Aye.
Harry, it's hard to see you guys. Harry,
aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Joan,
Aye.
and I am an aye. We are now in non-public. We will come out of non-public only to adjourn. So as of this time, the meeting is over. Thank you very much and see you next month.
Close the door.
Could you, thank you.